90 SEALs and UDT folks, and they're eating their meals here, and I'm not going to talk for more than about 5 minutes. But for those of you who don't know, I'm Carlos Del Toro. I'm the current Secretary of the Navy. And I got a phone call 2 days ago from my oldest son's mother-in-law, Pat Lowe, who's this young man's sister. And she said to me, Carlos, she doesn't call me Mr. Secretary. She says, Carlos, he says, my brother, who I haven't seen in a long time, is coming into town. He's getting an award. I'm not exactly sure what the name of the group is. I'm not exactly sure where they're headed, but he's coming into town on an Alaskan flight. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll try to find him and see where we can meet up, Pat. And through some transactions, I realized that he wasn't coming in alone. I realized
my backup.
Yep, absolutely. And I had no knowledge either of his courageous service to our Navy. And I said, Pat, I'm going to do everything I can to connect you. So Pat Lowe and her husband, Mike Lowe, who actually served as a colonel in the United States Army and continues to serve as a civilian today in the Army at Aberdeen, is going to meet up with you at the World War II Memorial. But I was coming from a White House event here with the president, and I got a hold of the schedule, and I found out you're going to be here at the FDR, so I felt compelled to be here. So having told you this long story, and now having met my new relative Bill here, let me tell you how much of an honor it is to me to be here with each and every one of you. I've been Secretary of the Navy for 2.5 years, and in those 2.5 years, I always say that I love all my Marines and my sailors. And we got any Marines in here by any chance? No. Yeah? I took my oath of office in front of the FDR Memorial, by the way. Mm-hmm. And I always say I love my sailors and my Marines, and God knows I work every day to make them better in terms of the resources they get, the training they get, and everything else. But there's always a special heart, a special place in my heart for our special forces warriors, because I know day to day the challenges that you all are up to, that you faced when you all served in the military, and I know the challenges they continue to face today. And we just lost 3 very special warfare SEALs in the Sea of Aden that were trying to interdict illegal arms against those damn terrorists, the Houthis and the Iranians at sea not too long ago. There's not enough ways for me on behalf of our country to say thanks to each and every one of you who served. I served for 26 years myself. I was a surface warfare officer. But when I came into the Naval Academy in 1979, it was your generation that was training me to learn what it was like to serve in the military. And I remember even as far back as my platoon commander at the Naval Academy, Lieutenant Commander Gluting, who was a special boat operator in Vietnam. And I remember him telling me the stories and the struggles and the challenges that all you faced in Vietnam and in many other conflicts along the way. And he trained me. He made me who I am today. And I stay in touch with Lieutenant Commander Gluting even to this day. So on behalf of all of us who continue to serve in the Department of the Navy and the Marine Corps, all who serve in the Department of Defense, and indeed all Americans, I thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
And my pledge to you is to work every single day for as long as I'm Secretary of the Navy to continue to serve those brave young men and women in uniform today. Everywhere I go, every speech I give, before I talk here recently, I talk about the bravery of these young men and women in the Red Sea over the course of the last 6 months, who've been batting back daily Houthi attacks and who've been conducting strikes off the USS Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group in the Red Sea and the Sea of Aden. I talk about those brave men and women on the USS Ford that just completed a 8-month deployment and prevented the disaster in Gaza from escalating and the Hezbollah from escalating the war even more. I talk about the brave men who also served for 8.5 months just recently on the USS Baton, who served that deployment, also serving our national security interests. So please know that the example that you all set in Vietnam makes a difference. It has made a difference in those who serve today. And I'm deeply honored. This is divine intervention. I just wasn't expecting to be here with all of you this morning. It's divine intervention, and I'm here with all of you to say thank you. Thank you for your service. God bless you all.
Oh yeah, beer's on you. What's that? Beer's on you. The beer's on me.
One last note. I'm still the Secretary of the Navy. I can still recall you to active duty. So, no Liberty incidents while you're here in town this next couple days, all right? I don't want to get any reports from any of you. I got the 4th Master Chief here who's going to keep an eye on you, right? The 4th Master Chief?
You got it, sir.
What time's curfew? What time's curfew?
We'll go for midnight, sir.
They got to be in bed by midnight? All right.
Bill can stay up late.
Bill can stay up late? Yeah. And one last question. How many of you are spouses or loved ones who know these folks really, really well? How many of you want them to come back into the service? How many of your spouses want you to come back into the service? There you go. God bless you all.
Tell Bill to call his sister.
All right, thank you, sir.
No kidding. Call your sister. I'm going to put her on the phone right now. Have you spoken?